Welcome back to my car shop. We're here with my buddy Brad, who came up from Ohio for a week, and we're going to be working on the 68 Pro-Street GTS. So let's watch the show intro. We'll see you on the other side. I'm Mike, this is Brad, and this is my car shop.
Working out of a 100-year-old refurbished barn, bringing 35 years of experience to projects considered beyond repair. Vision, creativity, and problem solving are essential tools in this place. Watch as we transform junk into polished metal miracles. This is My Car's Shop.
So what we need to accomplish, just a little history if you haven't seen any of the other episodes on this car. We had a fire on this car. The main fuel line from the fuel cell is about a ½ inch, I think, something like that. And that line blew many years ago, probably, was it 7 years ago? Yeah, probably 7 years ago. And we had a big fire. It was right outside the barn when it happened. Fortunately, it wasn't in the shop. But there was 3-foot flames shooting out of the hole cut for the tunnel ram. And fortunately, I had a fire extinguisher. Unfortunately, it wasn't a halon fire extinguisher, so you'll see rust on the valve covers and other places that eventually will get cleaned up. But our goal today is to replace the fuel lines that I had put in temporarily a couple of years ago just to get the car running. So we need to get the right fuel lines in, and there's a couple that are really brittle, things like that. And that sounds like a simple job, but when you're dealing on working behind that tunnel ram with that dual quad setup, it's a bit cramped. So, yeah.
I've been there before, not easy.
Right. So let's stop the talk. Let's just get after it, and we'll get into working on it.
Peace.
So just for reference, what we're replacing is the fuel line here, which was just a temporary line we threw on that feeds the nitrous solenoids on both sides. It comes out of a T in the back, and that comes out of the main feed up from the fuel line from the fuel cell. Wow. And then the other one is the main feed right here that runs from here up to the fuel block, and we need to replace that. It's about a 1 foot chunk. So yeah, you can see it's a bit crowded in there. So we're putting Brad right to work, making him get her done. It's not his first rodeo with this car.
No cussing though. This is what I have to remember because I have a very foul mouth.
I'll beep you out, don't worry about it.
Okay.
So most of the time when Brad talks, you're gonna hear beep, beep, beep.
Exactly.
Maybe we'll put in a different sound. Maybe
I think it's going to start already.
we'll put in a chicken clucking or something. Okay, so we got that line out, and we took it out as an assembly so that we can just get new line, cut it exactly like that to length, and put it back in the car. When I built it the first time, I had to figure all that out in the car, and it was kind of a pain, especially that little shorty, how long that needed to be. So this will be the easiest way to do that. So. While I was looking for the tools, he got the job done. So go figure. He needs to be around here more often.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, so we got the fuel lines now, and Brad is disassembling the old and fixing to put the new on. Feel like that one coming this way is shorter than the one you have on your side.
Yes. Made it.
Okay. Oh, it's there definitely. Yeah, it's plenty long. So.
Yeah, I know. I'm pushing it too far because I can't get my hose.
And maybe it was an optical illusion. I don't know. Maybe that one was shorter on this side.
Come on, baby. I'm your daddy. Okay, I am on. I haven't put
Right.
it on, but I'm up against the. And do you have enough?
Plenty. Do you have enough for yourself?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm
and
good.
this kind of as what it did was it came like this and curled down and around. So
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're good.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Tangled up in the nitrous wiring, but that's okay. Sorry, I pulled on that. I didn't mean to do that.
No, you didn't. But I did something to the wiring.
No, I said it was the hose was tangled up in the nitrous wiring.
Oh, come over here a sec.
Yep. Let me finish tightening this down.
Yep. Because I can't remember how it was. Would you rather have this under, or would you have this over?
Well, I think it went behind it, didn't it? I'd rather
You think the
I thought
hose
it
came around?
but if that's the point of least resistance, then leave it there, right where you're at.
I don't think it was like that, but
Okay.
it'll probably work that way. I thought it came
I like
from there.
it gradual curves as much as possible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. I think it'll work, but it's not going to work like that. And it was coming up
Okay.
and around, but it might be able to.
No, whatever's the this the most gradual, and as long as it doesn't rub anything sharp, it'll be fine. So.
Biddly bop, biddly boo, zibbity dee, zibbity dum, diddly doo, diddly dum. Now you got a 5/16.
5/16 on a nut driver, or just this one, or
That's cool.
okay. I've
Yep.
got a nut driver with
Yep.
extensions. If longer is better.
Longer's always better.
So Brad looks forward to coming up here every year, and then gets frustrated working on the car. I think you need the reminder that you don't want to work on the car.
This is true. And
I love
that's
working-
why
I love working
that one's staying up here. Because I'm not. Thought I was born to do this, and obviously, in my older life, I've come to realize that I really don't like doing this. But I like coming up here and seeing it. And I will do this because I love this car. So the only reason why I would ever do this is because I love this car. It's my friend. And I'm shoving this down as far as I can onto the
as long as
fuel
it's got
line.
3 inches
Right.
or so, it's good.
Yeah,
So.
okay.
I'll double clamp that one too, because that's supposed to be double clamped. So. Okay, so the fuel system should be done. We're going to go get racing fuel. I only had to take out a small loan, sacrifice 2 body parts, and sell 1 child, so we're good. Buying 12 gallons of racing fuel is about $100.
What you have to do.
Yeah. So
It's all for the love of hearing this car run. So,
just
and
looking
it's-
at all of the nitrous wiring, and this side is good, but the fire was on that side, so that's where the issues are going to be.
Okay.
So that's good. I don't know that we're going to fix that today, but at least nitrous is another major expense we were talking about the other day. This has got a 200 horse shot Pro Fogger on it. I think it's a Pro Fogger, Power Shot, whatever. Pretty sure it's a Pro Fogger or a Fogger. Anyway,
It's a fogger.
it's a Fogger. Okay, he knows my car better than I do.
Fogger.
The box is still upstairs for it. It's a Fogger, not a mother Fogger.
No. This car could never be a mother fogger.
Oh, it has been sometimes. So anyway,
It's a grandpa fogger.
we had the 200 horse shot lasts me about two passes, and the tank is empty. And last time I got the tank filled, I think it was $50. So 200 horses is an expensive power adder for sure, but it's worth it when you're in the mood for it, because I call it my chemical big block. This motor is about 400 horse-ish, between 350 and 400 horse, because it's built to run nitrous. And then with a 200 shot horse on it, it gets right with the program. It'll go from 0 to 50 just like stink. It's got all the wildcats, Daddy.
Everybody knows stink is fast. Especially when it's coming from those, what do you call them? All the wildcats.
Yeah.
Wildcats, I'm sorry, they stink.
What does a buckeye know? So we have the fuel system work done, and Brad's already working on 2 scoops over here, getting started back in that. So he just won't quit. But I'm going to go ahead and get the racing fuel in this, and we'll get the fuel system fired up, make sure we don't have any leaks. I'm going to squeeze every drop out of this thing like I'm milking a cow. Electric fuel pumps do not work unless you have electrical.
No manual,
No manual.
no cranky, no cranky.
There we go. Should do the carburetor's filling up.
Oh, look at a line over here because something popped. So one of these metal lines
They're tight.
might.
Nothing
Okay.
moving. Yep.
I don't see any leaks.
Don't hear anything dripping in the carburetors. Okay.
I just optical illusion. I thought I was seeing some
Oh, some sweating.
driplets or
Yeah.
sweating there, but
Sweatlets or dripples.
I want to say it looks good.
Okay. So we're not leaking any liquid money. That's good.
No, all the money's in the pipe.
All right. So we were testing for leakage, and this carburetor seems like every other year gives me fits. I don't know why it does that. So we're gonna pull that needle and seat out of there and see what the heck is going on. It's just flooding.
I have no clue what he's talking about, but I'm getting ready to find out.
I don't know that I have any idea what I'm talking about either. Okay.
So,
We lost the O-ring. I think the O-ring was swelled up, and I don't think it came out of there. I think it's still in there.
yeah.
So, all right, got to get a trouble light and look down in there and see what's going on. We may have to pull that carb off. So the O-ring came off the needle and seat and fell down in the bowl, and my temptation was to say it'd be fine, leave it in the bottom of the bowl floating around, but sure as anything, it'll get in there and jam the float, and then we'll have problems. So we're going to pull the carb off and see what's going on in there. I'm sure it's no big deal, and we'll be able to adjust that float better with the bowl off anyway. So, yep, the joys of Holly carbs and racing fuel with a lot of alcohol in it, and the car that's been sitting around for too long.
7/16.
Yep, 7/16 and a half inch. So yes, we found the pieces of the old needle and seat in there, pieces of the jet. So we'll get a seal on the needle and seat wherever I put that, and we'll adjust the float while it's out of here. Don't hear any gas in it, so get that done, get her slapped back together again, and get her back on the car. We also got a fuel tube gasket here that's stuck. One of the things about these Holly carburetors, when you put them back together again, the O-ring Yeah, I think everything is just getting brittle. That one broke too. The O-ring will stick in here. You got to put it on the tube and gently put it into the. Otherwise, it'll leak like a sieve. So, got to dig through my Holly Bart's box and see what I got. Okay, so we put the tube
Gonna need a.
gasket on here, and we put a new O-ring on the needle and seat. So first thing I want to do is put the.
Do you need
No, gasket's fine.
this?
Yeah, that's fine. It's been off and on there a million times. It's a reusable one. So.
Okay.
So, yeah, I want to adjust that up so the float is about level. So you can see that right now we're going to just push the float up with our needle and seat assembly. Just get the nut so I can turn it easier. So we'll get that up there like ish. So it's a little bit over level, but then we'll be able to tell where we need to be with our float here, because you check these by when it's in the car and the float comes up. Gasoline should just be at the rim of this hole. If it comes out of the hole, it's too high.
And that's what it was doing.
So I'm going to overcompensate a little bit. Okay. That should be good. Should be a little bit on the low side right now.
And then
And
you're
then
not that, but the.
Right, the brass plug. Well, you look for that, and I'll put this back on. The other thing when you're putting your fuel tube back in is spin it a little bit, if it will. Yep. So put it back in there and just kind of spin it into place. There we go. That worked well. We can reassemble our carburetor screws. And when you're putting your bowl back on, always make sure that your accelerator pump is against the eccentric.
I have my fat head in the way, but I thought maybe you brought it up here.
Might have.
Excuse me. Let's see. Hi, you little pin in the rear.
I'm right here.
The other little pain in the rear.
One of our screws has the gasket stuck to it. Find it? Okay.
No, this one
Yep,
I
that's-
found. That's not it. The
Oh, yep.
side hole one is.
Yeah, it's around. If not, we have more. We have parts we haven't even used yet. Okay, apparently we got to dig in our carburetor box. And find a
Scoozy.
Yep, it'll work. I know the bad tree guys are going to be saying you should have a thermoquad on there. I seriously did think about putting dual thermoquads on a tunnel ram, but that would have been a really big hole in the hood, and I wasn't quite sure I could fit two of them back to back, so had to go with the Holly. Sorry, guys.
Okay. carburetor?
Yep, I can tell it like something just shut off.
Oh God, it's leaking really bad over here from somewhere. It's like it's coming out of the bowl.
Okay. Yeah, we had the carburetor fixed, and then something must have stuck, and the float stuck. But we pulled the needle and seat out. It was clear. Checked the float. It's floating good, and it's running good now. So it must have been a fluke. I rebuilt these carburetors probably 7 years ago, so it's probably time to go through them again with all that alcohol that's in that racing fuel. But it's running like a raped ape, so I think we're going to be good. We got a couple other things we want to do, but it's time to take a lunch break, and then maybe we'll get to take you for a ride. I noticed during our video here that my phone rang and my insurance agent called, so I got to call her back and get some road coverage on this car. It's only got storage on it.
Rock.
So Brad is working on the fuel pump switch and getting it, figuring out what's going on. We're going to try to pull the switch out of there, probably replace it, but maybe it's a wiring issue, but I'm betting it's a cheap junk switch. So I guess if we had to, we don't happen to have a switch, we do have the nitrous switch right next to it that we could do, so we'll see. I guess I should disconnect the battery, huh?
That'd probably be a good deal. Yes.
Well, it's been an exhausting day. It's been a good day. GTS is done. It's on the road. It's licensed. It's insured. It's full of gas.
And it rocks.
And we did burnouts. We had all the burnouts. We gave it all the poison. We opened up all the wildcats, and we even let
a whole bunch of bananas in it as well.
And let all the smoke out of the tires. Well, not all the smoke.
True.
So, and we got a lot done on the 73.
And the wildcats ate all the bananas that was stuffed in it.
That was slick. So we got the 73 all done, starters in, and fixed a bunch of other stuff, so that's good.
That was a snowball.
Well, the GTS was too. We didn't expect
True.
it. Yeah. So, it's been great. And Brad, anything you want to say?
Just that the 2 scoops is staying up here. I've been thinking about it, and I'm giving it to Mike, and I know he'll enjoy it, and because I don't enjoy this as much as my mind thinks I do, and just it's been great coming up here and seeing all of his cars. They're just spectacular.
How many years have you been coming up? I mean, off and on.
Off and on, I probably came up here, the first time I came up was 2000, I want to say it was 2004.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe it was 2003.
Yeah, I think it was.
But it could have been 2003 and been coming up, except for last year.
Yeah.
And maybe a year,
Yeah, once in a
one
year
other,
something
but
came up.
I've been coming up pretty much well.
Some years more than once.
Yep.
So,
Yes.
It's about 350 mile drive for him to come up, but he likes to come up and receive punishment in the shop by having to work on his
Yes.
stuff. So,
Cool. Reminds me how much I hate doing this, but I love being around him. So
all right.
everything is great.
That's going to do it for this episode. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that. Hit the bell so you receive notifications. We're on Facebook and Instagram /mycarshop. And as we always say, ride!